You guys, I got to interview Ringo Starr today. Like, good morning and welcome to my vlog. It has been quite a while since I have picked up my camera and turned it on to just film random moments in my life. But I used to love doing that so much and I've been wanting to get back into it. So I figured now was as good a time as any to do that. I have so much going on over the next couple of weeks of my life. And I thought I would put all of the footage together and start creating vlogs again. As I get older, I love looking back on the memories that I had when I used to do this more frequently. And now that my YouTube channel has grown a bit since I launched the podcast, I figured it was just another way for me to be able to share content with you. So the vlog is back and I hope to keep it going for quite some time. It's a big day today. It's a big day. So I figured I would just bring you along with me and kick things off here because I have something exciting going on. So thanks for joining me and welcome. So I turned on my phone to record myself putting some makeup on in the car, and somehow the audio did not record. But this is a video of me telling you that I am getting ready to walk into the Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum to see Ringo Starr. His museum exhibit is opening, and I got invited, and I am so excited because I am going to have the chance to interview Ringo and ask him a few questions about his life and his exhibit at the museum. This is also me telling you how totally freaked out I am and nervous because I am going to be standing in front of a Beatle in about 20 minutes. And my brain cannot comprehend how I ended up in such a cool place with such a cool job. Also, it's snowing outside, like really snowing, and I sort of contemplated not even coming down to Nashville today, but that would have been absolutely crazy because then I would have missed the opportunity of a lifetime. Just got to the Hall of Fame, getting set up for Ringo.
Thanks for coming.
I got to interview a Beatle today. And he was so nice. He was so warm and friendly. He did like the elbow bump to me. Like we were like besties for a minute. He was super cool. My hair is a mess because it's like snowing and disgusting outside, but I'm like still shaking. The whole time I was talking to him, I was shaking. I really was. And the one thing that I wanted most of all during the interview was to be able to mention my father because my dad was the biggest Beatles fan and it was his dream to get to meet them, and he would have just given anything to have been there today. So I got to tell Ringo about my dad and how much he loved them. And so getting to work that into the very short interview I got with him was the most special moment for me. But got to ask him a few questions, got to see him cut the ribbon, and it was, God, I am so lucky. Good morning. It is Thursday, and I'm a little less put together today than I was yesterday. Still recovering from my exciting day yesterday with Ringo Starr. Like how crazy. I'm like still mind blown that that actually happened. Anyway, it is going to be a busy weekend leading into next week too. I am heading to Toronto on Saturday to do some work with Sharon, Lois, and Bram. They have a couple of really cool projects coming up in the next year. And so we are going to be doing some meetings surrounding those and then also shooting some content for social media. We have a promo for a digital release that they have coming up that we need to create. And then just, like I said, some meetings with the record label, the team, all of that. It's always so much fun going up there. It's like we have the most fun of every team I've ever been a part of. They are for sure like my favorite. Like they are some of my best friends, and it's just so exciting to get to go and like work on that stuff because it's so fun. Also, my hair is doing some weird thing today. Anyway, so today, like I said, it's Thursday morning. I have to get some work done today. I just started a new little segment of my podcast. It is basically like an offshoot of the original podcast, which is Famous, which features famous people, famous names, people that you know that have been in the spotlight for a long time. But I also have such a passion for giving young entertainers a spotlight. So I decided to create a little sub podcast called Becoming Famous, where I have the opportunity to highlight some of those new names on the rise. So debut episode of that podcast came out yesterday. So I have to work on getting some of the promotions and stuff over to the publicity team that represents the artist Tori Rose that we had on our first episode. So got to get those over to her publicity team. My interview with Mark Bright, which was for my podcast Famous, came out last week, and so the video portion of that comes out this week. So that is currently uploading to YouTube, and that should be published this afternoon. All the things. It is not easy to be self-employed, running my own business, but here we are and doing all the things. So let's see what else is on the agenda. I am going to meet my husband for lunch today. He occasionally gets a lunch break, and when he does, I take advantage of that, especially when I'm going to be leaving town for a few days. So I'm gonna go meet him for lunch, come back, get the rest of the podcast stuff done. I need to edit the interview with Ringo Starr. I need to edit the television show episodes that we just filmed this week and get ready for my trip to Toronto. So it's going to be a fun and exciting few days.
I was so honored to get to sit down with her at Harper's Steakhouse for a wonderful conversation. And we also have Callie Tucker, a powerhouse vocalist with music in her blood, talking with Steven about her latest projects. Plus, we'll be taking you backstage at the Opry for an interview with Twitty and Lynn, two incredible artists carrying forward the traditions of
So it is a few hours later. I went and I still have my messy kitchen, so clearly that hasn't changed. I went and I met my husband for lunch in Nashville. We went to Thai Sane, which is like our favorite Thai food restaurant, and got some pad Thai, which was delicious, and came home. And something I forgot to talk about earlier today when I was on here was that one of the things I had to do today was an interview with a magazine. And it's so funny because I'm gonna have to move over here because the light is just it's not doing it for me. Okay, much better. The sun is shining today for like the first time in days. You can see the little lines from the blinds on my face. Anyway, what was I saying? Interview. Also, I'm like struggling with my phone because I'm looking like where I think I should be looking, but then it's supposed to be over here. So gotta look over here now. Does it look like I'm looking at you? Hopefully. Anyhow, did an interview with a magazine today. And it's so funny because this is like my second interview that I've done where someone else has interviewed me in like a week. And my interview that I had last week was actually with a really good friend of mine, and she was interviewing me for another magazine, and she had all these questions for me. But I feel like because I've been doing interviews on the other side lately, I've gotten rusty. At telling my own story. And I think it's so interesting because for years I could tell my story so quickly, so easily, didn't have to think about any of it. I was used to doing interviews constantly because for a while there, I was literally doing them all the time. And then I switched places and became the interviewer, and now I ask other people questions. So when it comes to having other people ask me questions, I have realized that I have become quite rusty. So the one that I was doing today was actually a written interview. They sent me the questions ahead of time, and I just had to like type out my answers and stuff like that. So it actually gave me a minute to sit and think about this new version of my life and where I'm at now versus where I used to be when I was doing those interviews frequently. I was either being interviewed to talk about my music, my singing, my songwriting, and that whole portion of my career, or it was to talk about my business and my digital marketing firm that I still run. But now people want to hear about the TV and podcast stuff, which I am happy to talk about because honestly, it's so exciting to me to get to talk about these incredible people that I get to interview. So today's interview was about my journey, and it has been a pretty crazy one. So I got to talk about some of the people that have helped me along the way, how I got into television, how I got into podcasting, and some of the really cool people that I've had the chance to interview. So just finished that, and now I'm getting ready to watch a webinar. A YouTube friend of mine, Latasha James, who is fantastic at just so many things. She's brilliant. She has created an incredible business. She teaches people basically how to be better as a social media manager. She has incredible advice on business. She has incredible podcasts. Tonight she's doing a webinar on podcasts. So because I am still fairly new to this world, I wanted to tune in. I am like the kind of person that is always asking questions and always wanting to learn. And it's interesting. I sometimes when people ask me what my pet peeve is about other people, I always say like them not wanting to continue educating themselves. People who think that they have learned all they can learn about a subject and have become the expert. And I believe you can be an expert at what you do while still continuing to learn, because someone else's perspective is always going to bring new perspective to you. So with that said, I am going to go watch this webinar that Latasha is teaching in about 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna try to get a little bit more work done. I just finished uploading my Mark Bright interview to YouTube. Go watch it if you are tuning in. It's a fantastic interview, and he's done so many incredible things. He was quickly Carrie Underwood's producer, Reba McEntire, Rascal Flatts, Luke Bryan, some of the biggest names in country music. He's worked on their records and outside of country music too. He has a fascinating story. So anyway, if you want to go watch that video, I will link it below. I'm going to go watch the webinar now and continue working today. I wanted to quickly show you, these are the photos that the magazine interview that I did is going to be publishing. So these are like some of my all-time favorites. That's my photo with Dennis Quaid on the left. The one I did yesterday actually with Ringo Starr in the middle. Below we've got Terry Clark, Desmond Child, and my wonderful friend Carolyn Dawn Johnson. So excited for you guys to see this interview when it's published. It's Friday and freezing cold today. I just left the eye doctor, had an eye doctor's appointment, got some new contacts, some new glasses. My prescription changed. Eyes are getting worse with age. Fun times. Going to run a few errands with Mike. Gonna grab some lunch at one of our favorite little cafes in Hendersonville here. And gotta go to the post office. I gotta get some stamps. Gotta run to Target. And then tomorrow I fly out to Toronto, where it is surprisingly a little bit warmer than here in Tennessee. So gotta go home and pack. A little bit under the weather today. I've got a stuffy nose, but I think it's just allergies. Fingers crossed. Lots going on. We just got to the airport, headed to Toronto this evening. I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully everything is on time and we will be good to go. this is day 2.5. Today we had a meeting with Sharon, Lois, and Bram's record label to go over some upcoming projects that we are so excited about. Some things that fans have been wanting for a long time. So really excited to be working on all of that. Got some updates on some other little things, and now we're in the middle of like this winter wonderland. There's so much snow up here. It's like unbelievable. It's so beautiful. We are getting ready to go out for an early dinner tonight with Sharon and Sharon's daughter Randy. And yeah, we've had a long day of meetings and work, so we're just gonna go and enjoy being together and update Sharon on all the cool things that are happening. And then tomorrow we have a filming day, which I always love. We have a filming day with Sharon and Bram to get some promotional stuff for some new projects that are coming out, and also some TikToks and things like that. So we are pretty excited about doing all of that tomorrow. We're gonna go to Bram's and film some stuff there. So it'll be nice to catch up with them. We haven't seen him yet on this trip, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, having a great time here in Toronto. As always, my favorite place to be. The driveway is a sheet of ice, so now I'm waiting for Chris to come down and help me get into the car because everything is a solid rock. We are out today bright and early running errands, picking up some things we needed to do. Got some coffee. Chris just ran in to pick some things up that we need. Gonna go by and visit Lois's grave at the cemetery. We do that every single time we come to Toronto, which I think is a special way for us to remember her by. So we're gonna go do that. And then we have some more filming today with Sharon and Elephant. We have elephant filming today, which is always a good time. Last night we were walking in from dinner and the driveway was a complete sheet of ice at Sharon's house. It was like the iciest thing. We had to form like an arm-length human chain to make it up the driveway so that all of us could pull each other up. It was fun times here in Toronto. It is freezing cold, but also it's like really nice because it's beautiful and I don't get to experience winters like this anymore in Tennessee. So trying to embrace it. Today is our last full day here in Toronto. Chris flies home in the morning, Randy flies out in the morning, I fly out in the afternoon. So trying to get all the things done today. Gonna get some more work done. We have a little meeting this afternoon, and then gonna have dinner with everyone tonight so we can have a fun little send-off. So yeah, it's been a great week, and I don't think I've vlogged as much as I wished I could, but we have been so busy that there hasn't been time, but that's good because that means the work is getting done. So anyway, I will pick up wherever this leaves off. Back home to Tennessee. It is Saturday morning now and we are running out to do some errands. I have to pick up some glasses. Mike has to get a haircut. Coffee, glasses, haircut. Happy Saturday. Well, we didn't get home because clearly I'm not home, but we just got in from Mike's student recital. He had his jazz ensemble band performance tonight, and it was fantastic. And we haven't eaten, so we just stopped by one of our favorite places to get a little snack and a beverage. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow morning. I am doing an interview with the actor who played Eddie Munster on The Munsters, Butch Patrick. So I'm going to be up bright and early for that. Just got home from dinner with Mike. It was lovely, and I'm about to go to bed because I have a big day tomorrow, interviewing Butch Patrick, and I need to get some sleep. So gonna sign off here. As always, thanks for watching. If you like this channel, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.